So I have unmuted my microphone. Tom, I'm curious, can you hear me? Are you still there? All right. Logging out here.
Hey, Tim, it's Tom.
Hey, good. Hey, I wanted to make sure that I'm being heard is the main thing.
Yeah, I had my thing off for a while. When I first joined, I couldn't hear you, but now I see that I can.
Well, and you maybe didn't notice it in the chat thing. So both this game and the one before we set up as a silent cast. So I wasn't broadcasting. I was just putting it out there, so you weren't going to hear me.
All right, it looked like you were moving around. I thought maybe you
Oh,
were
I
talking.
was I was here, but I was also working at my other job and that kind of thing. So
Got to pay the bills.
got to pay the bills, but also it's playoff time, so you got to pull a little double duty here. So that's what I've done. I've organized my lunch to pop in here and hopefully give us the second half of this game. Because wow, I don't know what if you've been paying attention, but this has been an exciting one. A lot of
It's
big plays.
it is.
That's a
That,
huge 59-yard run. I don't know if you
yeah,
saw it just a little bit
I
ago on Snake Eyes by James Conner. Wow.
yeah, I did. That always kills me in the last 2 minutes when you get that big run right before the half.
Yeah, you're looking at it's going to, they're deep in their territory. There's not much time, 60 seconds. Looks like we're about to have a 14-13 halftime score, and James Conner, of all people, bust out a
Yeah,
59-yarder. I mean, you expect that from Derrick Henry, from Dalvin Cook, and others, but you don't really expect that from James Conner.
yeah.
But he's capitalized on that, and Coach Shibley now has his Steelers third and goal at the 1 with 37 seconds left. Big opportunity. Texans, I noticed, jumped out on top in this game right out of the bat, 10-0.
Yeah, when I signed on, they were already up 10-0, I believe.
Yeah.
I was surprised, but that defense card is pretty bad.
And there's the
Tough to hold the
touchdown
lead.
run up the middle.
Yeah, that
Little,
Houston run D card is not good.
no, it isn't. Yeah, if you get close, you may as well just push it in, and they did. Benny Snell scores it, and extra point is pending. That should give Pittsburgh, actually, let's stand corrected. They already have a 7-point lead, and they're going to go ahead and go for two, try to make it 9 and a 2-possession game before halftime here. Kind of like the call. What do you think, Tom?
Against that run D, why not?
Yeah,
Oh, and he
but
throws it.
he's throwing into it, and that's incomplete. It was a possible interception on the defensive card, and he did not get that split roll. But that keeps it at a 7-point game. And with 15 seconds left, the Texans are taking over. Looks like at their 24-yard line. I was going to say, I imagine they might take a knee with just 15 seconds, but no, you've got Deshaun Watson, so he's got four wides split out, and he's looking to attack. If I'm Coach Golden of the Texans, I was nervous when he's going for two because I don't want to be down by 9, but a nice gift when he misses it and you're still only down by 7.
Yeah, one score game.
And here we go. Here it's a screen to David Johnson, and he's got a 10-yard pickup. He does not get out of bounds. Houston's going to have to use their last time out, I assume, and they do. 8 seconds left. They're at their own 34. They've got time for one more throw. But unless that's a long throw, it's not going to get him in any kind of field goal range. So I'm going to take a look here. I want to make sure this last time runs out, but then I'm going to jump out there and let everybody know on the chat string that we're broadcasting it live now. And you have yourself a big game tonight, Tom.
I do.
I plan to
I'm
broadcast that one.
already nervous about that one. Is it too soon?
It could be. I'll tell you that Anthony and I did a little back and forth on some practice games. So I played the Browns against him, and he played the Colts against me. So just enough to get a little taste and kind of get your mind geared for the opponent you're up against. I don't know how others do it, but most of the season, if I've got an opponent coming up, I'm playing at least one or two practice games just to get my mind in the right game flow of how to attack and defend that opponent.
How did you fare with the Browns against them?
Uh, so we played 1.5 games, and the second one it was kind of close at the half. I think I was down at half, maybe 22-9. It was still very doable, but I'd kind of struggled. The other game, Tom, I'm sorry to tell you that I lost I think it was 44-7. And I didn't fare much better that night. We actually played a full doubleheader, and he about did that same thing to me with the Colts against my Chiefs. It was a very long night for
Oh boy. I hope it's not a long night for me.
me.
That's a good offense he has.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's got a very good offense, no doubt about it. So yeah, but these guys are taking a short break. Let me take an opportunity here then to get out and let everyone know where we're at here on that. All right. So just wanted to get the word out, let everybody know that we're now calling the game live. Let's take a look at this to see. Still got full screen on and nobody to add, so we're good there. Let's take a look at halftime stats here. 20-13 is our score. Steelers on top by a touch. And looks like, wow, a lot of offense here. 247 to 231. So both on pace for over 450 yards of offense. Steelers already 113 rushing, that 59-yarder from James Conner near the end of the half being the catalyst, setting up that last touchdown. And 73 yards rushing. I know that I saw David Johnson had a 42. There it is, 42-yard run. So a couple of big runs there. Turnovers I always like to look at. And so it appears that the Steelers lost a fumble. So they've got the game's only turnover. And let's see here. Both teams are perfect in the red zone.
Looked like Pittsburgh was converting their third downs and Houston wasn't.
That I saw that, and then also I'm noticing, like the play call ratio is like 50-50 split for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger's got 14 runs, and they've run 14 times if you count a couple of runs by Roethlisberger only. Whereas Deshaun Watson has thrown it 26 times, and they've only run 8. So a good 3-to-1 ratio there, and then some. So, and that's to be expected. Deshaun Watson is a weapon, to say the least, and Joe Golden has proven extremely skilled at using him.
Enjoy him now. Enjoy him this year.
That's right. Gosh. Yeah, it's going to be a tough year for the Texans next year.
Yeah.
Although, that's just what the cards are going to show. I have to tell you, I've been impressed with the Texans from day one. I don't know what all's going on there. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You know it's dysfunctional, but I am a little surprised they let go of David Coley because I thought that the Texans, they lost plenty of games and got blown out in plenty, and they're not a very good team. But I felt like they fought hard every game and they won several. No one gave them a chance at, and there were others that were real close. And I just thought the Texans were a team that battled, that really had every reason not to give a shit when the season started.
Yeah, I mean the record on the field didn't seem to justify firing the guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And there was some talk, and it's probably true that the nature by which he took the job probably ends up contributing to perhaps even a pre-arranged deal that says that it's a 1-year agreement. So
Yeah.
that's possible too. We have added Jay to the stream. Welcome, Jay. There it
Hi,
is.
Tim.
It's
It's
Jess Geller.
Jess.
How you doing, buddy?
Figured I could enjoy somebody else's playoff game.
There you go. I was going to say, are you on vacation or are you back now?
I'm back.
Are you back? All right. Well, good for you, man.
Thanks. The cruise ship was fun.
Yeah, I've never been on one in my life. It's always kind of been on my bucket list, but you know, I think I still have a little time left here before I kick the bucket. So I'll get there eventually.
Yeah. It was good to get out of the 10-degree weather in New Jersey. You guys are getting a little cold out there where you are, right?
Yeah, I'm in Kansas City right now, house sitting for my sister, and yeah, we had a big snow and ice out here. I had my parents calling me multiple times as I drove the 2 to 3 hour trip here from my house to house sit because you know how parents are. Doesn't matter if you're in your 50s; they're worried about you if you're out on icy roads.
Right. Yep.
So your team unfortunately ran into a buzzsaw against the Saints in that season finale while you were out cruising. So that unfortunately meant you missed your opportunity to get to that Coach of the Year tournament. But hey, you were on the borderline for a reason. You played him pretty well, Jess.
Yeah, it was fun. I took it to the WFT to the overtime. That was my shot. That was one of the more fun
Yeah,
games of the year, and that was my shot, and didn't get it
yeah.
done.
I
Now I
know.
got to
I
retool with the Panthers
You're
next
looking at it
year
and you're
with their
like,
crappy
I could
offense.
beat the Saints, but probably not. This is the game I need to get. I know that feeling. So,
Yeah, Saints killed me early. Dan killed me like 42-10 earlier this year, so
yeah.
not a good matchup.
Yeah. No, not a good matchup. I lost
Hey,
to him
hey, Tim.
myself. Yeah.
I think we got a new game ID for the
Oh, do
game.
we?
Yeah.
Did they change it? Thank you for the heads up. No wonder I'm not seeing any action. They just said they were on break. So let me see what I can find here. Appreciate that heads up. We do want to see this game. So let's get going here. And we need to close this down. I'm hoping I kind of didn't calculate my time for them taking us such a long break at half. So kind of hoping that my lunchtime doesn't run out before this game's over because it's a good looking game. And I bet it comes down to the end. Joe has a way of playing Texans above their ability for sure. I should say above their carded ability anyway. Did I get that game number yet?
It's 15608 is the game ID.
All right, here we go. Come on, let me in. All right, there we are. So we are indeed a few minutes into the second half, and looks like the Steelers have the ball. Let's see if that's the first drive. They're already across midfield into Houston territory here. And indeed, Pittsburgh, seventh play of this drive, opening drive of the second half. They're already up 20-13 on Houston here. Wild card playoff game. And at least by record, one of the bigger differentials with the Steelers putting a 12-4 record up and the Texans just 9-7 this year. There's a deep pass and right by his number, but an incompletion on third down, and that's going to force a punt at midfield by the Steelers. Oh, that's a good-looking punt that's going to drop dead inside. Oh, what happened? That didn't go as far as I thought. So a real short punt, actually, just inside the 20 to the 19, and that's where the Texans will take over. Let's make sure I'm still. That's what I thought. It switched us out of full screen, which we don't want. Huh. So that's back to full screen. Everybody's in that needs in, and let's come back here.
Yeah, I think that was a sideline punt. That's why it didn't go the full.
Okay,
distance.
it was a coffin corner. I must have missed that.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh was in the neutral zone, and the Texans have a 1st and 5 at their 24. Texans come in as the 7 seed. So should the Texans pull the upset off here, they will be guaranteed a date with the New England Patriots. Flushed out of the pocket, Deshaun Watson. And he's got a result of receiver and a great roll to Jordan Akins. That's a 13-yard pickup on a 5. Tight ends typically like that 5. It's a 1st down conversion. Houston out to the 37 now. There's a quick out to the Darren Fells, another tight end, but he's double teamed and still a 5-yard completion. So good call from Coach Shibley on the defense as Minka Fitzpatrick was all over the receiver. But Darren Fells got it anyway on the laser from Watson, and it's 2nd and 5, Houston at their 42. Heading just back to the stream, going back to full screen. That's an incomplete short pass on 2nd down, setting up a 3rd and 5 here. We already talked about the Texans and their date with the Patriots if they win this game. The Steelers, on the other hand, as the highest wild card seed, they would get the Chiefs if the Chiefs were to win their game against the Colts. And if that doesn't pan out, they would get the Browns, actually. If the Colts win, the Browns would be next up to meet the Steelers. And the Texans are short on 3rd down with a 2-yard pickup. And so 4th and 3, I'd say they're going to have to punt, but they hadn't made up their mind, and now they have, and they're going for it. So big call here. Houston Texans inside their own territory, 4th and 3 at their own 44. Early 3rd quarter, only down by 7. So certainly not in a position to make a desperation move, but they are out near midfield. We'll see what they have in mind. 3 wide receivers split out. Will Fuller in the slot, inside run up the middle against a pass defense. David Johnson on his card, and he's 1 yard short.
Ouch.
He picks up 2 on 4th and 3, and it's a turnover on downs. So gutsy call by Coach Golden of the Texans. This one doesn't pan out, and the Steelers take over in Houston territory. Big defensive break there. And there's a little short run for a loss of a yard. James Conner couldn't get around the defensive end there. J.J. Watt bringing him down. Watt needed that 6 rating, and he had it. And that sets up a 2nd and 11 at the Houston 47. Steelers in a run set formation, pro set, defense in the nickel, and it's off tackle. Benny Snell hits his number up the middle. He is loose. Down into the red zone, a pickup of 29. Huge run there as the Steelers continue to pile up big plays in the running game in this one. 1st and 10 at the Texans' 18-yard line now. Steelers on the day, 145 yards rushing. That's a lot for a Steeler team, especially this early in the 3rd quarter. There's a little 1-yard pickup. Roethlisberger on a little sneak, sets up a 2nd and 9. The Texans are showing blitz out of the 3-4. Steelers with a split backfield, Snell and Connor. And here's a short pass to a double-team receiver, Deontay Johnson, and it is incomplete. It went to the defensive card, and on a result of receiver, you got a blank column there in double-team. So excellent call by the free safety defense on the Texans. Coach Golden coming through there, and that sets up a 3rd down and 9. Nickel defense showing blitz, and it's a little button hook to James Conner. He's got it, but it's not enough. He comes up a few yards short, setting up 4th and 3 at the 11, and field goal attempt is up and through. So the Steelers extend to a 2-score lead now, 23-13. 6:36 to go here in the third quarter from Pittsburgh. We got everybody in we need, and we're still on full screen, just making sure. Texans starting their next drive off tackle to David Johnson. Had the defense guessing pass, and he's still stuffed. Nothing doing. He hit the 5 on his running back card, otherwise known as the black hole of rushing. Second and 10, they'll stay with David Johnson as the single setback. Deshaun Watson, though, is back to pass. He's looking for Jordan Akins, the tight end. He's covered, flushed out of the pocket. He's looking for another target. And he's got it, but it's a immediate tackle. Just actually a 1-yard loss on that play. A little dump to David Johnson. The outlet doesn't work out, and that brings up 3rd down and 11. Here's a short pass, Randall Cobb. And this one is picked off, intercepted by the Steelers. Picked off at the 36-yard line. Cameron Sutton on the interception. And they take over at the Texans' 15-yard line. And wait a minute. What am I missing here? He's kicking an extra point. It did not say it was returned for a touchdown, but it must have been. This is one of those game glitches, I think. Wait, Houston flagged running into the kicker. What do we have? Intercepted. Snags the ball out of the sky. Doesn't say anything about a return, but I'll bet you if we look this up, that's what we're going to find. Of course, that's because we're also going to get the blue screen, I think, here. We may have to kick this one over. But, folks, I think what we're going to find out here in a second as we verify is that interception by Cameron Sutton, I believe, was returned to the house. We're going to go ahead and close out of this program and come back in. Let me go get that game number one more time. All right, we are back live from Pittsburgh. And there's a nice run. David Johnson, 15 yards and a 1st down. But that's the good news for the Texans. The bad news is that indeed Cameron Sutton picked off that pass and took it back 36 yards to the house for the big defensive score. And the Steelers, late third quarter, have extended to a 17-point lead here on the Texans. So huge defensive play there. And on 3rd and 10, Deshaun Watson dropped back to pass, but he was sacked, brought down on that play by Bud Dupree. That's his first sack of this game, and at least the second one for the Steelers. I know I saw Stephen Tuitt get a sack earlier, and that's making it 3rd and 17 now. Here's a screen to David Johnson. He's got it, and from the outside, he's got room, and he's got the 1st down. Big clutch 3rd down conversion on 3rd and 17. Texans down by 17, needed that desperately and got it on the dump pass. 1st and 10 now at the 24. There's a little run up the middle, just 2 yards. That sets up a 2nd and 8. Just outside of the red zone here. Texans need 3 scores to get back in this one. Back to pass. Here's Deshaun Johnson. He's looking over the middle, and he's got it. 13 yards is that completion. Inside the 10, 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Jordan Akins with his 6th catch in this game, 76 yards. And the Texans on the doorstep now at the 9-yard line. They'll come out in the blocking back formation. Buddy Howell's now the tailback. Cooks and Fuller are split out wide. Free safety, truly free down here. Got to keep an eye on Minka Fitzpatrick. We know that Shibley likes to be aggressive with his skill set. Here's a short pass to Weir Fuller. He's double teamed and he doesn't get it off. He is brought down again. Sack on the play. Robert Spillane comes through on that sack, and it makes it 2nd and goal at the 12. That's 4 sacks in this game by the Pittsburgh defense. Back to pass again. He's looking for Brandon Cooks. He's got him over the middle. Touchdown! He's in the end zone. Deshaun Watson with his 2nd TD strike of the game. And Kaimi Fairbairn will come on. And on the final play of the 3rd quarter, the Texans get on the board again with a touchdown. And that makes it 30-20. And here we are, the opening kick of the 4th quarter. Steelers take it and run it out to the 31. They'll take over right there. So 1 quarter to go here in Pittsburgh. Coach Shibley trying to run out the final 15 minutes and hold on to this 10-point lead. There's a little flat pass out to the side and a pickup of just 4 yards. Deontay Johnson on that one, and that sets up 2nd down and 6. And here's a little button hook right over the middle. James Conner has it, and that's a 4-yard pickup again. So simple math, 4 + 4 is 8. We've got ourselves a 3rd down and 2. Every 3rd down is a big opportunity for the Texans when you're trailing by 10 in the 4th quarter. And the Steelers are out near the 40. You got to wonder if they pick up a yard here, would they go for it? I kind of doubt it. I think they'd let that defense run up the middle, and James Conner pick up a 2 yards, just enough for a 1st down. Left guard couldn't make the block, but he got the 2 he needed and moved the chains. Steelers 1st and 10 at the 41. Off tackle, Benny Snell has it. And there's a short pickup, just 3 yards on that one. Snell over 50 yards rushing in the game. 2nd down and 7 now. Pittsburgh from their own 44. Texans now showing blitz out of the 3-4. Here's a short pass to Chase Claypool, and that's complete. 14 yards. The Texans were showing blitz, but Joe Golden called a run there defensively, and Roethlisberger capitalized to Claypool, who goes over 100 yards receiving in this one. Pittsburgh 1st and 10 now at the 42-yard line. And he's going to Claypool again. Deep ball to Claypool. And he's got him. Claypool has this ball. And he is into the end zone. 42 yards. That's a touchdown to Claypool. He had a 61-yard score in the 1st half and a 42-yard strike here. And the Steelers resume a 17-point lead at home here in the 4th quarter. Chase Claypool. 2 huge plays in this game. And he is now at 6 catches, 153 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Texans coming out on the ensuing drive, starting with a little 1-yard dive to David Johnson. Both teams with all 3 timeouts, but certainly clock is a factor when you're once again down by 17. Texans will have to be aggressive. Here's a little quick out and incomplete. Result was receiver, and Darren Fells couldn't pull it in. So already third down for the Texans, 3rd and 9. And here's a short pass. Will Fuller is the target, and he's not going to get past it. Actually, he's going to run. A must run around the corner and a 5-yard pickup for Deshaun Johnson. It's not enough for a first down. Texans have a choice here. 4th down and 4 at their own 31. 10-12 to go, and they're going to go for it. Trailing by 17. 3 wide receivers split out. Will Fuller in the slot. Cooks and Cobb are split out wide. Steelers in a 3-4 defense. They got 5s and 6s all on the line, and as far as run defense, a lot of that in the linebacking group as well. Tough to beat them with a white dice along that defensive front, and Joe knows it. He's looking deep. 4th and 4. He's throwing long, and that ball is up for grabs and intercepted yet again. Picked off by the Steelers at their own 38-yard line. There is a flag on the play, and that flag is against Houston, called for holding. And so Pittsburgh will decline that, and they'll take over. And they have the ball at the 31-yard line of Houston. So fair to say, Texans in deep trouble here. There's a nice pass over the middle, 12 yards. Deontay Johnson with the catch and run, and the Steelers just like that into the Texans red zone, 1st and 10 at the 19. Back to pass again. Claypool has it. That's 13 yards down to the 6. Ben Roethlisberger really having a good game here for the Steelers. Roethlisberger up the middle on a sneak, and he's going to cut that in half. 1st and goal from the 6 becomes 2nd and goal from the 3 on that 3-yard dive. Now here's a pitch out. He's keying Roethlisberger, but it's a pitch out to James Conner around the edge, and he is clear into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. And Chris Boswell is going to step up and put that extra point through to extend the Steelers to a 24-point lead now, 44-20, with 8 minutes, 6 seconds left here in the game. The Houston Texans came out in this game and jumped out in front quickly, 10-0. And since that time, it's been all Steelers, 44-10. We have an announcement from Peter Shibley that he needs a few minutes to bring in his subs. And Joe is fine with that, as we all should be. Interesting point. Let me go ahead and mention this to those who either are listening now or might be listening later. Wanted to let you know that on the prior broadcast today, the Giants and Rams broadcast, Dennis Crowley took over a lot of that second half broadcast. And in the course of that, Dennis explained how you can choose to handle this situation. So here we have a playoff team, Pittsburgh, and they are wanting to get their subs out, and we're having to wait. And that's okay, because I'm going to do the same. That situation, I'm not complaining. But I did learn from Dennis today that once you do that in a game like this, it should retain that for your next game. That's within that file. So in this playoff file, but it has to be if you tie it to a position. Like if you go into say a position, that's not really the word I'm looking for. Formation. Thank you. So if you pick a formation that you don't use like hardly ever, the tight end formation, or everybody's got something different. Everybody rotates different things, but pick a formation that you never use and make that your backups. And so when you want to get your backups in, you've changed in that particular formation. You're saying, here are all my starters, and so you can automatically go to that formation in garbage time, and it will always have those backups that you want out. So I wasn't aware that you can set that once and forget it if you do it by formation. And so I just thought I would mention that since it's relevant to where we are now. And it's something that I intend to try next year. Like, for example, he says you can go on your first game of the year. You can You'll have to make your opponent wait while you set it once you get in the game, but you can set it and then forget it. It should be that way for you for the rest of the year. So we are waiting, as I mentioned. Peter Shibley is getting some backups in as he has now rolled up a 24-point lead in this game. So if we go ahead and calculate the presumption that the Steelers are going to win this game, let's go ahead and let's take a look. And yeah, that should come up. So we have the Steelers right here. All right. And so they win this game as the 2 seed, beating the 7. So then you work from the bottom because the Steelers, they're the 2 seed. And so the Patriots are going to get the lowest seeded team. And so that would be obviously the Texans if they win this game. If the Texans don't win this game, then the Chiefs, I said this wrong during the broadcast earlier, I think. So good thing to clarify now. Because as I'm looking at this now, the Chiefs, if they beat the Colts as the lowest remaining seed, would get the Patriots in the second round. And so if the Chiefs lose, then the Browns are the next available team to go against the Patriots. And if the Chiefs and Browns lose, then the Chargers will travel. So that lets you know where we're at on that. Looks like we've got the game back up and running. So that's interesting going into I'll have to remember that. That looks like I'll be playing the Colts. And if I'm lucky enough to pull off the upset, next up for the Chiefs, based on this Texans loss, would be guaranteed to be the Patriots. And I know Dennis is excited about that because we've had several postseason tilts, haven't we, Dennis? Texans taking over here with 8 minutes plus to go. First and 10 at their own 25. I'm not sure what's going. Not sure if they froze or if they're thinking about it. Let's see if there's a new game number at all. Well, got a game summary from the Rams win earlier. Our first wild card game. Second one is this one here, currently in progress. All right, so we have action back in form here. And we do have the Steelers backups in. Texans aren't going to just go quietly into the night, and Deshaun Johnson throws long on first and 10, and it's incomplete to Brandon Cooks. This was a close game in the first half, but completely exploded here in the second half. There's a 5-yard run. That sets up a 3rd down and 5. David Johnson now, 10 carries, 72 yards. You take out that 42-yarder he had, though, and it's 9 carries for 30 yards. So outside of the big play, he hasn't exactly been lighting it up. Just that once. Looks like we missed a 13-yard pass. Deshaun Watson to Will Fuller. Houston out to their 43. We're down to 6 minutes, 36 seconds left in this game. Oh, here's a deep pass that's complete. And looks like that one may go to the house. And it does. Deshaun Watson hits pay dirt on that one. That was a 57-yard touchdown pass. Deshaun Watson to Kiki Kuti. That cuts it to an 18-point game. They're going to go for 2 here. And if you can dream big, 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions. Full house formation, short pass. Into the end zone, that's good. 2-point conversion here is good. So 16-point game, meaning that technically it's a 2-score game. Here comes the onside kick. And not good. The Steelers recover. They're still up 44-28. Now 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to go here. So you figure the Steelers are likely to be running the ball to run the clock out here. Still holding, like I say, a 2-score lead. I mentioned earlier, it's been a good day in this game for Ben Roethlisberger. And there's a run right up the middle, around the edge, actually. Jalen Samuels. And he's going to pick up just 6. That was a low usage containment, looks like. Held him up because the reading was actually a 17-yard gain. And there's a little dump pass. And that's complete. Pick up a 5 yards and a first down. Just playing out the string here in Pittsburgh, probably. It would take quite a miracle for them to come back at this point. Down 16 points here in the fourth quarter. Under 5 minutes to go. There's another little pass over the middle and pick up a 13 on that one. Pass from Ben to Ray McLeod. Steelers on the march at the Houston 22. Again, mostly backups in here for the Steelers at this point. Once they went up by 24 here in the second half, Coach Shibley did the smart thing and got his starters out of there. Little dump pass out to the side, 2 yards. Again to Ray McLeod. There's a little dump pass, incomplete. That was a flat pass, and he actually rolled Mason Rudolph's interception split rating. So you dream a little bit there. If that turned into a pick 6, get the 2-point conversion, it'd have been an 8-point game. Houston has 3 timeouts and 3 minutes plus left. I wouldn't want to be in that position. So I'm kind of surprised Peter would be passing at this point. I'm going to go ahead and have this be a silent cast for a little bit, but should be back on in a second to the game. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close this broadcast down. Your final score from Pittsburgh was 44-20. I believe is what that final score was. Steelers advance, and they will meet in the second round. The Texans losing means that the 6 seed Chiefs, if they win, would play the Patriots. So that means the Steelers are most likely to play Chargers or Colts or Browns. Probably in the order Browns, Chargers, and Colts. That's their most likely opponents. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. And we're going to go ahead and sign off for now. And we'll see you again tonight for Chargers versus Browns. Thanks.